our impromptu 5 questions with the Wolf of Water Street, 3rdLegGreg, Greg Wolf. You guys know him. All right, so we've got an exciting week of Bolts hockey. You've had an exciting month of Bolts hockey. So we've got 5 questions for you real quick.
All right.
Let's start off with the Stadium Series. We're all hyped. How hyped are you for the Lightning's first ever outdoor game?
It's going to be thrilling, to say the least. I mean, I think we've all at this point, we've seen like the renderings of what the stadium's going to look like and how it's going to really have that Nashville flair to it. If there's one thing that I've learned over the years is that the NHL, by far over any other league globally, really knows how to put on a spectacle. And I expect nothing but fireworks in Nashville this Saturday. I know we're all super excited. We've been waiting for this moment since our franchise has been created. We've never had the opportunity to watch our boys play in a football stadium outdoors. The weather should be perfect. Our fans that are heading up to Nashville, you guys might even see a little bit of snow, which I think would be fantastic, not only for the players to reminisce on those days back in the pond, but to now play on a professional level, and for our fans to maybe even have some snowflakes in the stadium. I can't think we could set the picture any better than what it's setting up for this Saturday. Now, as much as I would love to be a part of the festivities in Nashville, it's technically a home game for them. So I would expect a lot of the pomp and circumstance in the stadium to be heavily Nashville focused. But I'm expecting our fans to show and prove in Nashville heavy this weekend. I know there's a lot of crazy things going on, but it's going to be so exciting to see this finally come to fruition here this Saturday.
Absolutely. And I know we're having our little meetup Friday night. There's also going to be at the stadium before the game, the truly pregame, and the Lightning are going to have like a whole section set up there. So we can meet before the game too.
So the fans that are heading actually to Nashville, it is the Lightning NHL pregame powered by Truly, just like you said, Lot R. So fans may want to jot this down if you're heading up there. Lot R at Nissan Stadium is where this is going to take place. I do believe we're bringing some of our Florida sand up to Nashville to set that bad boy up with some sand sculptures and stuff for our fans to kind of participate and take photos in and commemorate their experience at Nissan Stadium. So Lot R, Bolts Nation, up at Nissan Stadium this Saturday. That is where you're going to want to congregate with your fellow Bolts Nation members. Also, there is a bar crawl. I know you guys, Shooter in the Stash, you guys have something going on, but I know my friends from Downtown Crawlers and Bud Light are also doing a bar crawl starting at 1 o'clock on Saturday, and a great opportunity for you guys as well to join up with some of your fellow Bolts Nation family members and track it down through Broadway as you make your way over to the stadium before the game. So if you guys need info on that, you can go to NHL.com/Lightning/fans/Stadium Series. And that's where you can get all the information on those events.
All right, we're going to drop that link in the comments in the chat, but let's move on. What about the Bolt fans that can't make it? We can't all make it to Nashville. I hear there's something going on at Amalie. Can you tell us?
Yes, sir. So I will be hosting the official Tampa Bay Lightning watch party that will be kicking off on Saturday at Amalie Arena. So again, if you're not going to Nashville, but you still want to feel that camaraderie of your fellow Bolts Nation, you can join myself, the entire Lightning Vision crew. It's all powered by Coors Light. It is a free event to attend. However, you do need to download a ticket. So again, that same link you guys are going to post, that is where you go to download your tickets. Again, it is completely free, general admission, open seating. Of course, the concessions will be open. It is powered by Coors Light, so I expect them to be in the house with all sorts of goodness, but we're going to treat it as if it was a normal game night at Amalie. The only difference is obviously is the game is not going to be played on the ice. It's going to be played in Nashville, but we're going to treat it as the same. We're going to still do our intermission fun and our games and all the stuff you guys have known to come and love at a Lightning hockey game night. You're going to get that on Saturday for the watch party.
Awesome. So you answered question number 3, which of course we always ask, will there be snacks? And yes, there will be snacks. So let me slide this one in there, because I've asked you about this before. How do people take place in that, like in those intermission games that you play? Because I see the people in the bubble. When you do the bubble like game, like I want in that. I want me and Stash going at it.
That's a great question. So, and we probably should arrange that at some point for you guys to all, as the podcast, be in the bubbles and destroy each other. I think
please do
love that. So I don't choose that stuff. So when the Blue Crew gets to the arena on a game day, and obviously you guys have seen them hyping up the fans and doing everything out on Ford Thunder Alley before the game with Thunderbug and the Street Lace DJs and the whole pomp and circumstance. A lot of the times they're gathering those fans either out on the Ford Thunder Alley prior to the game, or as fans are filtering into the stadium, they're typically walking around. They're in the stands. They're just kind of, keeping their eye out for folks. So if you happen to see a Blue Crew member, I mean, this is kind of like some insider info from Shooter and the Stash here that you're only going to get here, is if you see a Blue Crew member on your way into the building, or you happen to be on the concourse and it's early enough in the game, like maybe it's pregame or whatever, that's where you should approach them and say, hey, do you guys have a contestant tonight for any of the games that you guys are doing? And maybe, just maybe, they could say, oh, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm looking for somebody. Would you like to be my trivia contestant, my intermission contestant, whatever it may be? So if I can give any sort of advice, Bullets Nation, of how you can become a game contestant, that's the best advice that I can give to you.
So there you go. Get there early, find the Blue Crew. All right. Now, we haven't got a chance to talk about this because you've been busy. I've been wanting to have you on, but how do you become the in-arena host at the 2022 NHL All-Star Game in Las Vegas?
There it is. That was the official pass right there, baby. And you love that it says who we represent too, which I thought was pretty awesome. So interesting enough, as we all know, most NHL franchises have hosts, just like me. I'm not the only guy, guys. I'm not the only host in the NHL. So when there is an NHL event, like an All-Star game in that city, typically they utilize the host in that city. It's a reward, just like it was here in 2018. It came to our house. It's a reward for that franchise and that game day production crew to be able to host such an event. So they announced Vegas, and of course, never once did it cross my mind. I was more hoping Stadium Series because it was an outdoor game. I thought it was going to be neutral ice, so I thought that was going to be my first opportunity to take a stab at something like that, not even remotely having All-Star on the radar. And so, again, for that purpose, I know Katie Marie, I know Mark Chinook, who are the hosts in Vegas. They actually have two, a guy and a girl. And so, never crossed my mind. And so I got a phone call from John Bacharo, who's with the NHL. He's basically their vice president of game presentation, all the outdoor series, the Winter Classic, Heritage Classic, All-Star stuff, Stanley Cup. He is the guy directing the show, just like we have John Franzone here in Tampa locally. He is that on a national and international level. I get a call from him, and again, I'm thinking it's Stadium Series related, and he was basically letting me know that the Stadium Series was technically going to be Nashville Ice, and so it wasn't necessarily going to be need for two co-hosts. And I was like thanking him, for the call, and I thought that was the end of it. And then he was like, "But I need you in Vegas," and I was like, "Why? How does that happen? Like, why are you not utilizing Mark and Katie?" And he said, "Well, we are using Katie and Mark for something, but there's so many moving parts, as you guys have seen now with the Bellagio fountains and the 21, and there's still stuff happening in bowl. There's stuff happening on ice. There were so many moving parts." But he basically said, listen, Mark, just like he did in Tampa, he did stuff on the ice during the skills competition, while you, Greg, were doing stuff in the bowl, in arena, in contests, and fan stuff. So that's going to happen in Vegas. Mark would be doing the on-ice stuff, but you need to be doing the in-bowl stuff. And you're going to co-host with Katie Marie because, again, it is their house, same philosophy. So we're going to have you guys do it together. But there's a lot of stuff going on. So we need multiple voices, multiple personalities. And so, but Mark, who also does stuff for boxing over there in Vegas, heavy, he had a deal with a fight in Scotland. And he signed for that deal. He was supposed to leave. And sure enough, they booked me. I'm locked and loaded. I'm heading to Vegas. I guess at some point, his fight in Scotland got canceled. But at that point, the league's like, sorry, like Greg's coming. We're not, send it. It is what it is, Mark. So I guess you can hang out and watch the game yourself and just enjoy it. So that's it. And basically how it ended up happening. So I don't think if Mark had another obligation, maybe it wouldn't have happened, but because he did, they said, we're calling in the Wolf. And so again, it happened. It was amazing. It was remarkable. You guys saw how creative and unique this year was. But to be on the top of the Rolodex for the National Hockey League when it comes to these big events, man, it's a testament not just to me, and I say this all the time. I'm just a sum of the whole of the production that we have for Lightning Vision. I'm just a small piece of it. So for the league to continually look at us and what we're doing and want to bring us in, it's a testament to how awesome the organization is. So it was an awesome experience, to say the least. And again, another feather in the cap for sure.
Yeah, I think that officially makes you an all-star. And I'll tell you what, we wouldn't trade you for Katie Marie for anything. And that's saying a lot. That is saying a lot.
I appreciate you guys, man.
We'll keep you.
For sure.
We'll keep you. All right, one more, and we'll get you out of here. What was the highlight of that hosting experience? I know you were busy. I was telling everyone they need to go watch your stories, get on your Instagram, check out all the behind the scenes stuff. You were working the whole time, but what was kind of the highlight while you were there?
Because I am, like you just said, it wasn't like, oh, going to Vegas and balling out. And no, like you just said, like I literally got off the plane, dropped my bags. And our hotel was right across from the arena, and literally dropped my bags, went over. You have to get credentialed. You have to walk the building. You got to meet your team. And so, when these big productions happen, you've got people coming in from the NHL from all different levels. So the PA guy was Al Murdoch, who's the PA guy there, Paul Porter, if you will, for the Vancouver Canucks. And then you've got Katie Marie, who's one of the co-hosts in Vegas. You've got Greg Wolf, who's coming in from Tampa. You've got Renee and John and the crew from the league. You got people from LA. So you have this crew that all has to come together in a very short period of time and kind of run through the games. And again, when I arrived on Thursday, it was late, literally back in the arena that crack of dawn on Friday morning, 2 full skills competition rehearsals before the skills competition. Then when the skills was over, they have to filter all the fans out of the building. And now we need to rehearse for the All-Star game, because the All-Star game in Vegas is at noon when it was over here at 3:00, which means doors to the arena are at 10:30 in the morning. So you guys see now, well, damn, there's not a whole lot of time to prepare and rehearse. So we had another rehearsal for All-Star game after skills, go home, go to the hotel, sleep for a few hours, back at the crack of dawn, review it one more time. Machine Gun Kelly wanted like 5 full like rehearsals. Like he was just like, nope, we're doing it again. Nope, we're doing it again. They're like, yo, like doors are opening. So again, it was nonstop work. So for me, one of the highlights is working with these other entities and individuals in the National Hockey League that you don't get to interact with. I don't get to interact with the Paul Porter of Vancouver, but Al was awesome. And you get to hear how they operate and do things at their arena, and just kind of being around the league folks that are in the similar world that I am. And you kind of build these friendships and relationships. Again, it's been beneficial to my career, because having been able to do 4 league events now, it's gotten me to this point to continually be on the top of that phone call list. So for me, it's the camaraderie of fellow NHL staffers and all coming together for the common cause, which is to put on a great show for fans, which I think we did. And just to be in that environment, if it's not work related, I thought the coolest thing for me was seeing so many different colored jerseys in the stands. When you look at the All-Star game, and it's a culmination of fans from all over the world, all repping their jerseys. So Humboldt jerseys and like minor league jerseys, but it's just this rainbow of NHL fans. And that's not something you see every day. And so for me, that was probably the coolest thing to see, was the widespread variety of fans in the building. That was probably one of the coolest things.
Awesome. Well, that is 5 questions with Greg Wolf. Thank you, sir. I'm sure a lot of people will see you on Saturday night. So thank you for resuming your hosting activities for an away game. And get ready, because we'll have the playoffs coming up. So I think we'll have probably a couple more of those coming up. But thanks, Greg Wolf. We'll see you next time. And Bolts fans, have fun.